What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. This is not a good situation for LeBron James, in my opinion. He is getting destroyed all over social media. Yes, he does have his supporters, but he also has a lot of people who are criticizing him. Now, there was an incident in Ohio, in Columbus, Ohio, where a girl named Makia, I think that's how I say it, Makia Bryant. And she was going after another girl with a knife, people. With a knife. The police got there, and because she's uncontrollably wielding this knife, she ended up losing her life. And they're now trying to paint this as just another situation where police are just out here targeting black people. And the main person was LeBron James. Because LeBron James decided that it would be a really good idea to get on social media and tweet a photo of the police officer and say, "You're next. Accountability." Let me show this. So this is via Total Pro Sports. Now, he ended up taking this down. Okay, so for all the people that are going to come here defending LeBron, why would he take this down if he said nothing wrong? It was because the people were going in on him. Even some of his own supporters was wondering, wait a minute, the woman that was, who lost her life in this situation, she was going after another girl. She wasn't unarmed. She wasn't just going about her day. No, she was trying to take out another girl. This police officer saved the other girl's life. I don't care what nobody says. Now, I believe there were 4 shots. Could it have been a bit of an overdoing of it? It's up to interpretation. But LeBron James ended up deleting this tweet, and there were a lot of people who were critical of him because he ended up coming back, right, and responding. Now, this is an article from Outkick, and one of the first people was Clay Travis, right? And he made an interesting point, but this is what LeBron James said after he took the tweet down. He says, "I'm so damn tired of black people losing their life to police," right? I took the tweet down because it's being used to create more hate. This isn't about one officer. It's about an entire system, and they always use our words to create more division. I am so desperate for more accountability. LeBron, you took it down because it made you look bad. And this is exactly why LeBron James will never be Michael Jordan. Because Michael Jordan wouldn't put himself in a situation where he has to delete tweets, where he has to come back and clarify, because he wants to be one of the main ones out there talking about, oh my God, this is injustice. LeBron, even some of your own supporters are calling you out. To me, this girl put herself in this situation. And I'm not one of these guys who is a heavy defender of all things police, but I think that in that situation, what do you expect them to do? She was uncontrollably going after another girl who has a family, might I add. But we want to put all the blame on the officer. None of the accountability goes on the girl who was wielding the knife. See, that's where the logic is lost, people. Logic is lost now. All we have nowadays is emotion. Emotion rules the day. Accountability is not there. Makia put herself in that situation. Period. And those officers were put in a tough spot. Now, people could say, well, they could have used tasers. Well, they were trying to save somebody's life. Now, yes, they could have done that, but they felt like in that moment they had to make a choice. At least that one officer had to make a choice. And LeBron James is putting this guy's photo out here. He's trying to get people to go and attack this guy, talking about you're next. But I'm telling you right now, that doesn't solve anything. It really doesn't. Now, let's read a little bit from this article from Outkick. LeBron James earlier Wednesday tried to endanger a police officer who saved a woman whom Ma'Khia Bryant was trying to stab, right? And tweeting out the officer's full photo after inflaming tensions further. LeBron deleted his tweet not because he then read about the story and realized the facts exist, but because of discrimination. Yep, it's the discriminator's fault, LeBron says. LeBron took that tweet down because he realized he didn't have all the info. LeBron saw something on Twitter, and he ran to Twitter to go and respond, which is what a lot of these people do. You know what's funny? LeBron, why don't you respond to what Kevin Porter Jr. had to do? Kevin Porter Jr. had to save his teammate from losing his life at a club. And guess who the assailants were? Were the assailants people of another racial group who didn't like Sterling Brown? He had to save his teammate's life against people who I'm sure look like him. So what do you have to say about that, LeBron? Your fellow NBA players having to protect each other from other people who look like them outside of a club. I tell you, man, I'm all for accountability. I'm all for people being able to, if they did something wrong, be punished for it. But in this situation, I don't feel bad for this girl that even though I'm not for people losing their life, but if you're out here wielding a knife and you're endangering other people, how do you expect me to feel? Now, unfortunately, this officer is going to be run through the ringer, and his identity's out there, and people are going to they're going to go after this guy. They're going to go after him, you know. Now, Boyce Watkins, he's a guy who's very much so pro-black, right? He put out a tweet about how he's curious about this situation in Ohio. And he says that while he's concerned about the young lady whose life was tragically ended, does anyone have any concern about the girl whose life could have ended? No one cares about that. They just care about it fitting a narrative. They just care about it fitting a narrative. Don't let me get started on Jason Whitlock. But people, I want y'all to understand something, man. LeBron James is getting hammered on social media. That's why he's going on a Twitter rant right now, because he realized he messed up. But also, this is one of the reasons why we need to stop this whole who's better debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James, because it's clearly this guy can't control himself. He doesn't have any logic. He does not know how to maneuver. Because if you have to delete tweets and make and come back and, you know, post about how, you need all the facts, then obviously you shouldn't have said anything, because you're making yourself look bad. You need to get the facts before you go out here putting people's pictures out here, not understanding the full situation. Because I believe LeBron figured out that he didn't have as much support as he thought he did. He thought that there were a lot of people who would have supported him, and they don't. They don't support what LeBron is saying. LeBron, you got to understand, bro, you're being used as a tool in this society to bring that division. That's what you got to understand.